Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another daily movie review. Spooky season continues, and today we're going to be talking about the 2017 film The Bye Bye Man. The film is directed by Stacy, written by Jonathan Penner, based on a book or a short story by Robert Damon Schneck called The Bridge to Body Island. The film stars Douglas Smith, Lucien Leviscount, Cressida Bonus, Doug Jones, Michael Trucco, Jenna Canel, Eric Tremblay, Cleo King, Carrie Ann Moss, Faye Dunaway, and others. The plot synopsis logline is: three friends stumble upon the horrific origins of a mysterious figure they discover is the root cause of the evil behind unspeakable acts. So yeah, The Bye Bye Man. I kind of only know this movie by reputation. I've heard that it was kind of bad, and I knew that when I was going to go watch it. You know, so sometimes I have a thing, me and my wife do. We try to find these kind of so bad they're good contemporary horror movies. Blumhouse is good for that. A few years ago with that movie Truth or Dare came out, and that is one of the funniest fucking movies I have ever seen. That movie makes me laugh harder than any comedy in the past 5 years. It is a crazy, bad, but very entertaining movie. And I thought maybe I'd get something like that out of The Bye Bye Man. So much so that I bought it. It was in a clearance bin at the Big Lots for $1.50, and I was like, that is a reasonable price to entry, even if it's bad, even if I don't end up liking it. So yeah, what did I think of The Bye Bye Man? Having just said all that, The Bye Bye Man is not a good movie, and it's not bad enough or incompetent enough to be entertaining. I was hoping for something so dumb that it would kind of turn the corner, and it never really happens. I mean, it starts to happen in the third act, where it just gets so stupid and ludicrous that there's definitely some laugh out loud moments. So I did get a little bit of juice from it, but I would say overall pretty underwhelming. And a lot of that comes from the incoherence of the story. You're never really sure what the fuck is going on. The movie never goes into any real depth about the lore of the Bye Bye Man, what his intentions are, what his abilities are. So when you do that, when you don't set up rules for things like that, especially when it comes to something like the final confrontation, you don't know how to feel about it. There's no tension can be built if you never know what's going to happen, other than the fact that a creepy dude in a hoodie and a hooded jacket is going to show up and point his finger at you. It doesn't do enough work to establish the Bye Bye Man, frankly. This is it's kind of a ripoff of, I would say, the Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's like Freddy Krueger. The Bye Bye Man's kind of a Freddy Krueger-esque figure, as you come to figure out. And the only thing they really do tell you is that his power comes from the fear that he can instill in you, and it makes him more powerful because you're going to think about him more. So it's this idea that he's kind of like a brain worm. He wants to be inside you, and that's how he lives on, through people's recognition of his existence. So this is something they've dealt with in the Nightmare franchise, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, for years. But the thing about that franchise is there's explicit rules to how Freddy works and how he exists and how to beat him, how to combat him. This movie doesn't really do that. It's got a darker edge to it. I will give it credit for that. It has a pretty downer ending. It's so fucking stupid though. You just kind of laugh. You're kind of rolling your eyes and laughing a little bit, but it's it just never builds anything. The characters aren't very interesting. You know very little bit about the characters, just enough that they have some sort of personality. This is not really a dig at the actors or anything like that, but you just don't like anybody. One of the people that's in the movie, and probably the best part of the movie, the opening of the movie is pretty good. And it promises something the movie never really delivers on. Actor, writer, turned director of some note, Lee Winnell shows up. He's kind of in these flashback sequences of this reporter that had to deal with the Bye Bye Man 30 years before or something like that. 30, 40 years before. And that it's really effective. And then it just doesn't do anything with it. It doesn't explain how it could get that way in any way that makes logical sense. It's intellectually bereft of anything. I was just so surprised because you're just watching it and it feels like you're just watching the same scene over and over and over again until there's some sort of third act out of left field conclusion that the character makes and then doesn't understand how to utilize it about the nature of the Bye-Bye Man. It just, nothing really adds up. Nothing feels earned. That's what I would say. And a lot of that just goes back to just the script and not clearly defining this villain. Like it's, as like a boogeyman type character, the Bye-Bye Man is not without its potential. It's a creepy dude. Like I could see this working in some context. Maybe if they had just, let me know a little bit. Maybe that's something they had plans. They had franchise plans. The movie ends on a downer, sort of kind of cliffhanger. You get resolution with the characters that you're following, but, obviously they have not completely contained the Bye-Bye Man. I mean, that's where Carrie-Anne Moss's character, this is weird. It's got Faye Dunaway. It's got Carrie-Anne Moss. They don't really do much with them. Faye Dunaway, I understand. Like, she's doing kind of a slightly longer cameo. She's playing like the wife of Lee Winnell's character from the past. Or not, she's playing his wife in the present. And then he did what he did in the past. And we go there to kind of get some exposition, And it's unnecessarily weird and spooky scene that feels so artificial. It just doesn't ever land. It just doesn't ever do anything. But anyways, yeah, I thought that was weird because Carrie-Anne Moss especially seems like either she had a ton of her role cut from the movie or it just wasn't that built out. Maybe she's doing somebody a friend a favor or something like that being in the movie. I thought a little bewildering, to be honest with you. What else can we say about the Bye-Bye Man? What else can we say? Not much. There's really not much else to say. I don't like the director Stacy Tidal. Like she did like some indie movies back in the day. She did a movie called The Last Supper in 1995. She hadn't done anything since 2007. I guess she did The Greatest Show Ever, which is a TV movie. I don't even know what the hell that is. I guess it was like an anthology series. Directors Joe Dante, Houston Huddleston. I don't know. Maybe is she a producer? Like, how the hell does she get? Not really. I mean, she has produced some things, but not like of any note. Yeah, and she doesn't do a bad job as a director. I don't want to imply that. I think of the problems with the movie is just the script at a script level. I would have to assume either that or this just got tortured in post. They filmed it in 2015. It was locked in 2015 and did not release until 2017. So they knew that they kind of had a dud. I mean, they dumped it in January that year. So your expectations are set right there. Studios, they know when they got a dud, a stinker, and that's when they dump them in January, February, usually. I think, isn't that a Red Letter Media? They have a segment they used to do called Fuck You, It's January. Or they did a video. Hilarious video, by the way. But yeah. So, it is what it is. I can't say that it's worth checking out, honestly. Like, I can't recommend this, even if you're looking for something to watch ironically. Maybe if you're just into the notion of story construction and things like that and why something works and why something doesn't work, maybe there would be something of value you could get out of this. Because like I said, it is kind of like it's a knockoff of a Freddy movie. And it shows you why those movies work, honestly. Like that's what made it interesting for me. So like, I watch a lot of movies, so I don't really feel anything is a complete waste of my time. You always learn something. And for me, that's what I learned, or it reaffirmed how I feel about kind of horror movies and thrillers and tension and what creates tension. And it reminded me why those movies largely work, and why this one doesn't. One of the best things I did find, though, my wife found this actually while we were right after the movie. She was looking at IMDb trivia and stuff like that. And we found this IMDb review, and she was laughing so hard while she was reading it, she could barely breathe. So I will leave you with this review. There's a little bit of spoilers in here, so if you're sensitive to that, maybe dip out now. Thanks for watching. But we're going to read the Bye Bye Man review from IMDb. I don't know who wrote this. Otherwise, I'd give them credit. But here we go. The Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. So I've been waiting for a film adaptation of the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man for a very long time, and thankfully, it was worth the wait. I've seen the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man probably around 26 times, and I just can't get enough of the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. Don't say it, don't think it is the main way to keep the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man away. And if you do say or think the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man, you will be in for a rough ride, like the black lady who was all like Pee Pee Poo Poo Man in the library. She was tricked by the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man to kill her family, and then she gets run over by the main protagonist because she runs out onto the road. So yeah, the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man is a revolutionary film that even plays with the mind of the audience, makes them think that the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man could be in their head. That's just fucking fantastic. That's a great review. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about Zoobox, bunch of links in the description for Facebook, Instagram, my Twitter, Dan's Twitter. Also, if you would like to make a recommendation, throw it in the comments and I'll put it on the list. All right, everybody. You have the best one ever.